Hello everyone, I'm Casey from Steelmate.
Hello everyone, I am Sky from Steelmate.
Today we will introduce product of parking assistance system. Sky, before we introduce this product, I have a question to ask you.
What's question?
Does your car have the parking sensor?
Yes, I have.
It is front parking sensor or rear parking sensor?
It's rear parking sensor.
Why not you install the front parking sensor?
Because I don't think it's necessary for me.
Yes, many clients think the front parking sensor is not necessary, but actually the front bumper, the driver cannot see some areas if the height not high. So the front parking sensor also is necessary. Today we will introduce Steelmate intelligent parking sensor to you. PPT. Today we will introduce parking assistance system. What is parking assistance system? I think many clients know it, as we have the experience to parking the car. Here I will describe it again. Parking assistance system is an ultrasonic detection system for road vehicles designed to alert the driver of obstacles with audible tone and all vision warning while parking, and assist the driver when parking and in maneuvering situation. Usually, many clients will be installed the rear parking sensor. As we can see, the car with the ultrasonic sensor, will be detect the rear areas of the vehicle, and the detect information will be send the ultrasonic sensor to the control unit, and the control unit will be deal with the data and send the information to the display or the buzzer. At this time, it will be with the alert or visible warning to remind the driver, with the distance or the different BB to remind the driver. Also have the front parking sensor. 4 sensors installed at the front, and the ultrasonic sensor will be detect the obstacle. When the distance it will our parking sensor, it will be start to detect from 1.5 meters, and it is with 3 levels different audible warning to remind the driver to remind you the distance. If you installation the display, it will be in the digit with the digit to show the distance, and the voice will be remind the driver the distance of the obstacle. The ultrasonic sensor will be detected from 2.5 meters, and it will be start warning from 1.5 meters. When the distance less than 0.3 meters, at this time it's very dangerous. With the parking sensor, don't worry about it. The speaker or the display will be long beep or say stop to remind the driver press the foot brake. And if the car with the front parking sensor, when the driver press the foot brake, the front force sensor will be detect the obstacle, and the front force sensors, it will be start to warning from 1 meters. And if the driver reversing at this time, the front two side sensor still work. Parking sensor, one of the important parts is the ultrasonic sensor. The ultrasonic sensor is waterproof, and with the water connector, it is a detachable sensor with waterproof cable connector. And we can see from the photo that installed at the rear of the bumper. At present, Steelmate have three kinds of ultrasonic sensor available. One is 40D12. It is inside bumper mount sensor. The second is 40D30. It is flash mount sensor. The third is 40D70. It is a flash mount sensor with adjustable bumper thickness. The difference of the three kinds of sensor is 40D12 is inside bumper sensor. It is easy to installation. You make the hole and push the side outside, and the sensor of 40D13 and 40D70, it is a flash mount sensor. This kind of sensor, when you mount, you should push inside, and the surface of the bumper at the same surface. It look like the car manufacturer installed the parking sensor. It looks very beautiful. 40D12 sensor, this sensor have different color available. Usually we have black, silver, and white available. If you want printing other color sensor, you can order it, and we can printing it for you. And also you can send us the color sample to us. We will printing it for you. Also, you can tell us the color carton number. We will printing the color sensor for you. 40D12 sensor, it is waterproof, and it is meet IP 67. It is waterproof and it can be put in the water 30 minutes. In the water 1 meters. It still can work. This kind of sensor with 3 kind of degree cap. The cap is changeable. You can usually it can match with the 4 degree sensor cap, and we also have the 10 degree sensor cap and 10 degree sensor cap available. This sensor cap is very useful when you installation the sensor. As we can see, the bumper the head is fixed. When you install it, if the sensor detects the ground, at this time you can adjust the sensor cap from 0 degree to 4 degree. If it is still detect the ground, at this time you can adjust it. Use the 10 degree sensor cap to adjust it. About the flash mounted sensor 40D3 and 40D17, how about the difference? When it install it, the surface at the same, and also the color of the flash mounted sensor also can be printing. You can printing by yourself, or you can tell us the color you needed. We will print it for you. The difference of the two sensors is 40D3 is the first generation of the flash mounted sensor. After the clients install it and use it, they feedback to us that different car bumper, the thickness is different. So if the different, sometimes the sensor surface and the bumper surface do not at the same level. So we developed the new sensor 40D70. This sensor with adjustable bumper thickness. You can adjust the knot to adjust the thickness of the sensor, to adjust it to make the sensor surface and the bumper surface at the same level. After you install it, it looks very beautiful. It is look like the car manufacturer installation the parking sensor. Many clients like the new generation flash mounted sensor 40D70. As we can see how to installation the sensor 40D12. To mark the point and make the hole, push outside. At this time, you should be pay attention. The sensor have the direction up and down. The sensor have the marks up. The up should be at the up direction. For flash mounted sensor, when we install it, should be take out the bumper, as the sensor need to push inside. First, to make the hole. The flash mounted sensor, the hole saw with the best quality. After you make the hole, the surface looks beautiful, and you can see push the sensor from inside. This kind of sensor suitable many kind of cars, but if some sensor the bumper thickness is different, it will be have little have the problem, not have the level same level. For 40D70, it is with the adjustable bumper thickness. Take out the sticker and stick it, adjust it. Adjust the bumper thickness like this. $40D70 sensor, the sensor die size is 30 mm, and the hole saw it's you can see the hole saw makes the hole like this, so the surface looks very good. Then adjust the thickness like this. It looks like the car manufacturer install. Today we will introduce Steelmate Intelligent Parking Sensor. First, I will introduce the rear or front 4 parking sensor. Steelmate the parking sensor is a 4-sensor parking system that can be used as a front or rear ultrasonic distance monitoring device. It can be detect the area in front or behind of the vehicle while driving or parking, and it will be alert you with audible tone or the optional vision display if the system detects an obstacle. If you have one of the obstacle display fitted with the digital number, the system will be actually show the distance to the obstacle. Steelmate rear parking sensor is dual purpose. Customer will ask us why is called it dual purpose. Dual purpose, that means it can be used for rear or front. And then we will introduce the 8-sensor parking sensor. This is the spare part of the 8 sensor. It is one of the ECU, the sensors, and the cable, the display, and the hole saw. Also, we will introduce the wireless parking sensor. It is suitable for the vehicles from 12 to 24 voltage, and it is wireless. What is the wireless? Wireless means from the ECU to the display, no wire to connect. It is transmitted wireless. Next, I will introduce the parking sensor of Pts A110 series. Parking sensor it is dual purpose parking sensor. You can choose how we choose the front parking sensor or the rear parking sensor. It is very easy. As the ECU, the front parking sensor is installation the front bunker with 4 sensors, like the picture shows. It will be detect the front areas. Usually, the middle 2 sensor detect from the 1 meters, and the side sensor it will be detect from the from 1.5, and the side sensor it detect from 0.5 meters. The sensors, after installation, the sensors from this connected to first you should be make the 4 hole and to push the sensor outside, and to connect the sensor to the ECU. The ECU usually put in this position. And the power cable need to contact the reverse light, ICC on, or beacon light, or one for the ground. So that is when we press the foot brake, it will be start work for front parking sensor. And also when we choose a reverse gear, it will also be work, but only in the 2 side sensor. The middle 2 sensor will not work. For front parking sensor, why we call it dual purpose? For the ECU, at the back of the ECU, it have 3 jumper to choose the function. The first jumper, if you choose at the front, it will be that means you choose the function for front parking sensor. If you choose rear, the system will be used for a rear system. At the back of the ECU, the ECU have 3 jumper switch. The middle jump switch is adjust the sensor sensitivity. Usually the sensor you can adjust the sensor sensitivity of high or low. High sensitivity, the installation of the sensor height will be 54 centimeter to 65 centimeter. If you choose this jump switch, we recommend the sensor installation at this area. If the bumper is very low at this time, you can jump the switch to 45 to 54 centimeter. Factory default or at this level. Another jump switch is when the ECU you set for the front parking sensor. If you choose 1, that means the system will be continue to work 5 seconds. Usually we recommend for automatic car. As we know, automatic car, when you press the foot brake and release it, the system will be work to some time. For automatic car, we recommend you choose jump switch 1. If you choose jump switch 2, the system will be continue to work for 20 seconds. Usually we recommend this to a manual car. As we know, the manual car to change it will be waste a long time, so it is suitable for the manual car. For the third jump switch, if you choose the rear parking sensor, it will be, if you choose the jump switch 1, that means it is a normal stop distance. Now, normal stop distance, it is 30 meters. If you car with a tow bar or spare tire back of the car, at this time, we recommend you choose jump switch 2. At this time, the obstacle will stop distance will be 20 centimeters sooner. That means it will be start alarm from 0.5 meters. Usually the parking sensor will be matched with the buzzer. The buzzer with two buttons to adjust the volume. One adjusts the frequency. It is one frequency will be the sound will be high, and one frequency the sound looks very listening will be a little low. And the speaker volume can be adjusted by 3 levels. Usually we recommend, as we know, skill-made parking sensor, it can be used front or rear. If the clients installed one of the parking sensor for rear, for the rear parking sensor, the buzzer can be choose one of the frequency, one of the buzzer tone to remind the driver it is the rear parking sensor. And after you install one front parking sensor, you can choose another frequency buzzer sound. And when you drive, you can listen to the different sound to know the obstacle from front or rear. And the buzzer also can be adjustable to the digital display or LCD display. As we can see, the display with the LED display, color LED display, and in the middle with the digital in it. The LED display usually we will put on the dashboard or in the internal mirror, or install it at the rear roof. Have 3 kinds of installation place. This is Pts A110 series. We will choose the parking sensor at the jump switch for the rear parking sensor. 4 sensors at the back of the bumper. it will be start to alarm from 1.5 meters. The cable, one for the reverse light, one for ground. And the buzzer at the rail roof. And also can be updated to the display. We have many displays available for it. The display also can be, you can choose the LCD display. The LCD display also can be show the distance of the obstacle, and it will be with the matrix to show the position of the obstacle. For stalemate parking assistance system, it also with it is with the learning function, and every time when ACC on, it will be make the self-test function. Every time when ACC on, the control unit will be self-test the 4 sensors. If 4 sensors is work normally, it will beep once. If it is one of the sensors is damaged or do not work, the buzzer or the display will be, the buzzer will be beep 3 times to remind the driver one of the sensor do not work. If your installation match with the display, in the digital will be show E1 or E2, E3, E4 to remind which kind of sensor have the problem, and the middle 4 LED will be show which one sensor have the problem. And also it has the learning function. What's the learning function? Learning function, that means if the car have the tow bar or spare tire at the back of the bumper, at this time you can learning the bumper or spare tire position. After you learning the spare tire or bumper position, the parking sensor will be ignore it and will not be false alarm. It will be learn the position of the tow bar or spare tires. And sometimes if the spare tire or the tow bar change, or you make some extra tuition at the back of the car, and at this time you should be clean the before learning and learning it again. It's easy to make the learning function. Usually you just to press and release the foot brake 10 times within 1 second. On the 10th press, hold the foot brake down for 6 seconds to complete the learning function. And also, if you with the spare tire or the learning function at the back of the vehicle, you can choose the jump switch of this vehicle. The jump switch can be choose the functions. It is normal stop distance, or the distance will be alarm at the 0.5 meters. That is why we called our parking sensor is an intelligent parking sensor, as it has many functions to choose according to your car conditions. Another parking sensor is wireless parking sensor. It is a waterproof ECU. As we can see, the contact is waterproof and you can screw it. Why we call it wireless? As it is the display no need to contact to the control unit. You just to install it the 4 sensors at the back of the vehicle, and it is suitable for the 12 to 24 vehicles. It is suitable for many of the commercial car or the truck or bus. This is the wireless speakers. It is with the button to adjust the volume. You can have 3 levels to adjust the volume: high volume, medium, or no, and have 1 button to turn on the voice on or off.
Next, we will introduce the Pts A110. This is front and rear parking assist system with A sensor, the Pts A10 series. And it is with intelligent ECU designed to save time and labor for installing. And both front and the rear situation shown in the same display. It's easy to check out in one time. First of all, you can see there are A sensor in the car, and the 4 is detected for the front, and the others are detected from the rear. There are 3 angles you can choose: the 10, the 4, and the 0. It is connected with waterproof wire, but when you wash the car, you should choose the low pressure water. Don't wash it. And the detection zone is the front is 0.3 meters to 0.89 meters. When they in revising mode, the front can detect from 0.3 meters to 0.59 meters. And when the car is in revising mode, they can detect the rear detection from 0.3 meter to 2.59 meters. This system not only can install A sensor, but it can also install for 6 sensor. 2 is front and the 6 is rear, and the 4 is rear. And it can work well between the negative 20 degree to 70 degree, whether your country is very hot or very cold. And you can see the ECU is connected to A sensor. When the sensor detected the discharge, they will send the data to the ECU, and the ECU will deal with the data and send it to the display. The ECU can work well between -40 degrees to 80 degrees, which means when your country is very hot, the ECU still work very well, or your country is in very cold place such as Russia or other north place, they will work very well too. And when you check the ECU back, there are 10 plugs in it. With the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H is connected to the sensor. You can connect it A sensor or 6 sensor. If you don't want to have too much hole in your car, you can choose 6 sensor. 2 is from and 4 is where. The biggest plug is the function wires. They connected to the ACC, the revising light, the full brake lights, and the GND. And the last plugs in the display. When the ECU deal with the data and send it to the display, you can see the 2 different show way of the display. One is digital, and the other is the image. And there is a digital display with 3M stamps of the distance, and the image display can show which sensor or where is the upscale in the car. And for LED display, it can be installed on dashboard, which is you can see the display very clearly, and you can know instant. The most common location on the front rooftop and the rear rooftop, and see the visual data by rear mirror. And the display with digital value can be changed different direction show according to above location select. When the sensor detect the object from the detection, they will show in the display at the same time, and you can clearly know which sensor or which location is approaching to the upscale. And for 2 LED display for front and rear application is usually the front one placed on the dashboard, or from rooftop, and the rear display located on rear rooftop and reflect in the rear mirror is a smart play. You can see the ECU is connected to the reverse light, the GND, the brake light, and the ACC. And there are 5 functions in this product. First of all is the self-detective function. When the ACC on, the system will test for from sensor EFGH. And when the sensor is normal, there are no sounds in the display. But when the sensor is damaged or defect is detected, the display will have the noise beep 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 for 3 times. The second function is volume adjust. Once the ACC on and the revised jar is selected, press the set button to select the volume level. It will save and exit after 1 second later. There are three kinds of volume you can choose. The 3 is for the max, the 2 is for the middle, and the 1 is for the mini. You can press the button behind the display, so you can choose the volume. The other is turn on the voice. Once the ACC on and the revised jar is selected, press the set button for 2 seconds. You can hear 1 beep after 2 seconds, and once the voice is out, you can know the voice address mode is done. And the third function is the learning function for car. If your car have toolbars or spare rear, it will distract the sensor, and the sensor will continue to have noise. This time you should turn on the learning function. Change the gear from N to R for 10 times. After 10 times, leave the gear in R position. The display will beep and flash once to complete the learning process. And when the learning function is active, the system will ignore the toolbars or other spare rear and only detect other objects behind the vehicle. And the fourth function is dual intelligence function. When the function is on, the detection distance will increase 20 cm between the sensor and the object, which is designed for the toolbar and the spare rear. There are 2 choices. The first choice is jumper position O. Is the normal detect distance, and the second is 20. It will be increased 20 cm. Next, we will introduce the buzzer. There are 2 kinds of buzzer you can choose. The first is the B1. It's available for The first is the B1 buzzer, and it can available for Pts 411 and the C series. The second is B2, BSP 020. Is available for Pts A110, Pts 411 and the C series. The BSP 2020 is more thinner than the B1. It looks more beautiful when you check on the dashboard. These are the display you can choose for the Pts 411ES and the Pts A10ES. You can see clearly, and some with the digital, such as M227, M26, M25, M23, M22, M19, M8, M7. These can show in the digital, and the other only show in the color and the distance. This SD display is for Pts 411ES and the Pts A10ES. They can show in the digital and the sound in the same time. You can see the TP62 is 2-in-1. You can not only show the parking assist function, but also the TPMS function you can check. And the last to introduce is the C series rear parking assist system. There are 4 sensors in this product, and you can choose the 4 or 2 sensors available. And it have cell testing function, and the learning function is also available. The device is waterproof connected. You can match with the buzzer or display. The operating temperature is the -30 degrees to 80 degrees. That's all. Thanks for watching.